Good afternoon, everyone. I've taken the liberty to do a little bit of research regarding packages, and they speak about the COVID-19 virus living on surfaces without a host. And I found some interesting information. The CDC tends to downplay the idea that your mail could possibly contain live virus that you could catch. So that is a positive in that if the CDC is correct, we don't have anything to worry about. But they say if you're concerned, you should wipe down all of your mail packages with disinfectant wipes before you open them. And keep the recommended 6 feet between yourself and the person delivering the packages or the mail, just to be on the safe side. Now, while this is nice, and I think it's a good recommendation, I've decided to go just a little bit on the, we'll say on the safe side with this, because I don't want to take any chances, and I don't want anyone else to take any chances. So this is my recommendation, and it is also a recommendation among reliable news media sources that I have seen. They say that it's best to handle mail packages as unknown and not to touch them more than to bring them inside and safely store them for a period of 2 to 3 days after receiving them to allow the virus to completely self-destroy before opening the packages or handling the contents. This is by far more logical and the safest way. We recommend you handle the packages from online sellers, including ourselves. So when you get the packages, just handle them carefully, sit them in the corner of the room, whatever, just so they're not disturbed. Put them in a box, put them in a closet, whatever, and leave them there for a couple of days. And any virus that could possibly have been in or on that package would die within 2 days, because it took them 2 days to get it to you. They say it could live up to 3 days on metal surfaces. And so if we let that stay for another couple of days, we can be very certain that the virus, any virus there could possibly be from how it was transferred to you through the mail, would be gone. So that's what I've got on that, and I just thought I would bring it up to you guys and let you know, because I definitely don't want anybody getting sick, that's for sure. So here we are. I somehow have killed my camera. Hang on just a second. Let me get my camera back together here. Dun, dun, dun. Huh, that's weird. There we go. That was kind of strange. Okay. Noah Man. Hello, Jeff Dunn, Coin Dragon, Cuds are us. How you doing, Robert? Jessica Joe McBride. Eric Byer. Eric Byer, your phone's dead, so you're watching on TV, huh? Okay, so here's what we've got. I've got a little thingy here for the wrapper in case somebody wants it. It's just a typical 50-cent wrapper from the 1980s. And it is a sealed roll on both ends. I've got 50 names here. Now, there's actually only 49 names. There's one freebie spot. The freebie spot works like I do all the other freebies that I do. Is if I draw it right after I draw your name, you're the one who gets it. If I draw it first, it goes back in the bag. So that's how that's going to work. Yes, it's 34 past the hour. Right here on your listening station and your entertainment source for Lincoln Sense. Let's get started. All right, let me find my bag here. Got it, but it's buried under a bunch of other stuff. All right. I have thoroughly washed my hands today. I'm washing my hands about twice as much as I normally do, even though what I normally do is good enough. Mix that all up real good. I get my little tool out and start digging at the corners of the roll to get it open. Let you guys watch me do that. And all I'm doing is prying right at where the seam of the paper comes out with this little plastic tool. It's not doing any damage to any coins. And once I get it open like that, then I can just rake along the edges all the way around. And it picks up all that paper and makes it really easy to just unroll the wrapper. Once you've done both ends though. So now I have to do the other end. KCPR 1909 AM. Is that what that is? KCPR 1909 AM on your radio dial. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. All right. Here we go. Got the wrapper open. I'm going to start peeling the coins from the wrapper. Wrapper over the coins just like usual. I don't see any huge spots and they all look pretty shiny. So I think we could come out with a pretty decent roll here. Now on this, we're going to be looking for a number of major RPMs, but let me explain something to you about the RPMs in 1985 Lincoln Cents. They're scarce. They're worth more money, but they are scarce. I've been through a number of rolls and haven't found anything, but I've also been through rolls and I have found stuff, so this could be one of the lucky rolls. And so that's what we're after here. All right, well, the first person to go is going to be James Worley. And Mr. Worley's coin. Here, let me... I move my camera down a little bit there, and now I'm going to refocus it. There we go. This will be Mr. Worley's first coin here. We're going to be looking for repunchment marks. We're going to be looking for double dies. There are some minor double dies on 1985 D Lincoln Cents that we could be looking for. Looking overall, I'm seeing that this is a very nice condition coin, on the obverse anyway. It was the reverse that was sticking out on this coin, and it is going to have just a little bit of that spottiness that you find on end roll coins very commonly. It does not alarm me to find little spots on the end coins. And it looks like everything here is pretty much normal. Now this comes from the weakness in the strike. There were a lot of weak strikes put out in the 80s. And so that's going to be coin number 1 for James Worley. Right here on the Copper Coins channel. Make that fun for everyone, right? Fun, fun, fun. It's coin day here at Copper Coins. And Shannon McCord is going to get spot number 2. Shannon McCord will end up with this coin. Now it does have a couple of spots on it. No RPM that I can see. There are some less obvious RPMs in 1985D that have to be kind of looked for. I'll look around, see if I see anything. Governor of New York says there will not be a lockdown. I don't know. It's a difference of opinion between different people I see. Some say that a lockdown is absolutely necessary, and that's what the problem was in Italy, and they kind of solved it in China. But they also interfered with a lot of people's human rights in China. It may have saved them from more calamity with the disease, but I don't think Americans would stand for that. You stay inside your house or we're going to come get you and put you in a paddy wagon and lock you up for not paying attention. Although that may do some of the people down in Florida on the beaches some good. Knock a little sense into them. That's a cute coin. Nice condition. Beautiful shiny coin here. But we're not looking at anything doubled. Oh, I checked the ears on all of these from this time period because, well, there's been a really nice 1984 Philadelphia found. There's been a really nice 1988 Philadelphia found. Who's to say that there's not something else in between, right? And this one is an issue that comes in between the other two. At this point in time, all dies were still being made in Denver. then being punched with mint mark punches to be sent. All the dies are being made in Philadelphia. I meant to say that. So all of the dies were made in Philadelphia at the die shop at this point in time. Then they were punched with a mint mark before being sent to the branch mint in Denver for minting coins. So these dies were made in the same facility as the dies that made the doubled dies. Well, I think it's about time they started closing the beaches down in Florida and started behaving like there was actually a pandemic going on. I think Ron DeSantis was completely remiss in his idea to allow life to go on in a state that is so commonly visited by irresponsibility. You have to force responsibility on people who won't take it for themselves. Yeah, we do have a spotty coin here. Seamus Omaha. I don't think I said hello to you earlier. I do intend on saying hello to everyone when you come by. And by the way, I don't know that this is necessarily important to a lot of people, but it's definitely important to me. I did have an opportunity to speak with New Marshall earlier, and he is fine. I have not yet spoken with Steve Elliott. Not since all of this began. We're 4 coins in and we don't have anything yet. Let's change that luck. What are we going to do here? Mr. Worley again. I only got the first coin in the roll. I'm looking at a distance before I stick them under the scope. I'm looking at a distance to see what they look like overall. And they do look like pretty nice coins. I mean, they're album-worthy coins. Even though they do have little tiny speckles and spots on them. They're still pretty nice coins. Very typical strike for 1985. A little weak. I think that one's going to be just another coin. You're welcome, Wild Bill. And thanks to everyone for paying their invoices. And to Coin Junkie, no, Xylene will not deal with this kind of spots. Xylene's not very good for zinc coins. I just don't really like the idea of Xylene and zinc coins. This roll is somewhat spotty, though. There's a few more spotty coins coming out than I really want. We're only, 6 coins in. We got 2 or 3 spotty coins out of 6. There's just not really a whole lot you can do about the spots on these zinc coins. You can try electrolysis, but that tends to be a little too strong. You have to be very, very careful when using electrolysis on coins, especially ones that are plated like this. You eat that plating off the coin in a heartbeat, and then your coin's basically just ruined. That's how they were doing the fake unplated zinc cents, is that they're using electrolysis to eat the copper off of the coin. It leaves the zinc pretty much intact, but the problem is when you look at it with a loupe, you can tell it's been eaten on. It doesn't have the detail that a typical struck coin would because you've eaten the detail off of it. Just looking for some RPMs. We could just get a couple of good RPMs to be hunting for. This would be a really fun roll. Right now, I haven't seen yet anything in this roll. Well, there's Steve Elliott. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for checking in with me. You're my brother now. I can't just let you go. Good gosh. I don't let anybody just go. You at least got to let me know you're doing okay. These are still BU. They are a choice BU. They're not gem BU. They're just a lower BU grade. BU means brilliant uncirculated. These coins are still brilliant. They're still very shiny. You can see here, there's plenty of luster there. Thing is there's just some black spots impeding the surface of the coin. Trying to get this damn hay fever under control. All right, Eric Beyer is next. Finally sent the wife out. She got me some loratadine this morning, so maybe loratadine will help me out. Took Mucinex this morning to kind of help the immediate effect, and then loratadine should help for more of the long-term effect. That's usually what I take when I get my annual hay fever, so hopefully this year it won't be any worse than other years, although this is the first spring I have ever spent in North Carolina, so who knows what the pollen here will do to me. I've also been putting my feelers out for anybody who keeps bees around here so I can get some bee pollen and start eating some bee pollen. Stuff tastes nasty. You just kind of spoon it up and swallow it and chase it with something. Because it doesn't taste good. But it is my understanding that eating bee pollen will get your body acclimated and used to the pollen in the area and will actually assist you in fighting hay fever. It wouldn't work today, but it would work for next year. And since I plan on sticking around this area for a while, I want to get myself as prepared as possible to be a regular North Carolinian. That sounds weird. Never thought I would live in North Carolina, that's for sure. It's not that it's a bad place. I mean, it's not. It's just that I just didn't think I would ever live in North Carolina, to be quite honest with you. I'm a Midwesterner, lived in Florida for a number of years, and North Carolina just came as a, hey, let's go to North Carolina. Okay. It wasn't a, hey, we've got family there, we need to move there to be with the family, or I got friends that live in North Carolina. It was just pretty much a, I could take a job and go over there and we'd be okay. Sure, why not? Oh, it's really strange. I do have family in this area, just family I don't know. Family I don't know and family I've never visited and don't really know much about. Mr. Worley. I'll take the next coin in the roll. Hey, some of these coins are really nice. This one's super. Holy moly. Oh, wow. There's that one thing on the shoulder right there, and that's more of a dent than a actual hit. It's kind of weird looking. You got that little spot above the date. Couple of little tiny black spots. Other than that, man, you got a really nice clean coin here. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what it looks like. Usually just about as clean as the obverse, generally speaking. A couple of little dark spots. Man, overall, this is just a superb coin. Really nice. You putting a label on them that says not sealed with saliva? Yeah, I mean, most of you have received something from me at one point or another. You know, I just use the self-stick envelopes. Bubble mailers. Mr. Worley, you got yourself a really nice coin here. I'm sure you'll agree when you see it. Seems in very nice condition. Unfortunate thing, though, is that we've been through 10 coins in this roll so far and haven't found any die varieties, so here we are on coin number 11, seeing if we might be able to find our first in the roll. Okay, we've got something going on here, don't we? That, to me, appears to be all machine doubling. Let's take a really nice close look at it so we can get an idea of what we're facing here. Okay, so in this you can see that your mint mark that stands out has no upper serif at all. And your mint mark on the bottom has a very flattened out lower serif. And if you look at the shape of the outer curve and the size of it, and you look at the shape and the size of the vertical stick that holds the whole thing up, it's a lot thinner than that outer curve, and they just don't make them that way. And so this one, because it has a bunch of stretch marks or striations on that doubling area, and they don't 100% parallel the flow lines in the area. I'm going to say this is eject doubling. It was doubled while it was being ejected, and the outside edges, it's kind of like a ballistics thing where you shoot a bullet out and it gets stripes on it when it comes out of the barrel. Sort of the same thing happens on this edge of the mint mark, where it's been straightened or stretched outward while the coin was being released from the die by the arm by force, causing that mint mark to slide just a little bit. So that is not an RPM. That is definitely machine doubling, and that's what machine doubling looks like on RPMs on the zinc sense usually. At least it doesn't have zinc rot around it. And zinc rot is something you just can't come back from. So this one's still intact. The copper sheathing is still intact on there, so you still got a decent coin. It's just that you don't have a die variety. Dab emojis. Okay. I've never tried that, oddly enough. I've smelled the stuff, and I mean I know what it smells like, I know what it looks like, but I've never actually tried any of it. I got a nice coin there. It's a slight false alarm on the whole mint mark idea. Oh, is that an elbow cuff? Okay. Well, that's appropriate for the time, isn't it? I do that when I'm doing my broadcast. I turn my head into my shoulder when I'm coughing. I don't cough on the coins. I just don't want to cause any extra issues with the coins, you know what I'm saying? Make more dots and spots on the coin. Plus, I don't think you'd appreciate me coughing on the coins anyway. Which I've been kind of convinced at this point that what I have is pretty much just a case of hay fever. Everything is coated in yellow outside. It's amazing. Get a kick of wind, and you can actually see the pollen lift up off the grass and blow into little clouds. It's just sickening the amount of pollen we have out there. And in addition to that, the last time I was exposed to other people where I could possibly get it would have been last week. And it's been long enough that I would have been developing symptoms at this point, as would be the people I was exposed to, and they are not, because I am in touch with them, so none of them have it. So how could I have it if none of them have it? You're not going to catch it driving down the highway from somebody passing you on the highway. Just not going to happen. So we don't have it here. We're just staying inside to make sure that we don't get it. A lot of these are really nice looking coins. This one has some spots on the reverse. As soon as I say that, turn it over and find little spots. This is a later die state coin, but it was also hubbed. The die was hubbed with a hub that had some wear on it. Those little speckles that you see all over the place, those were actually on the hub that hubbed the die. The die came out just as clean as it could possibly come out, but the hub, oftentimes if it's worn down, can cause little speckle issues on the die. You're a hermit at this point anyway? Well, that depends on the view out the window. I don't know. Seems if I get a good view out my window, I don't mind staying inside, and I could stay inside for a month. I'm hearing, though, that some people are starting to go nuts having to stay inside their dwellings. I think it's one of those things that if nobody tells you you have to stay inside, you just kind of stay inside and don't worry about it. And as soon as someone tells you you can't do it, that's when you want to. You can't go outside. Watch me. Hold my beer. This is a very nice coin. Very, very high quality 1985 D Lincoln cent. Can't hardly find anything wrong with it. Very, very nice. Doug Reese, you're getting yourself a great looking coin here. There's a little tiny spot on the top of the head there. Let's take a look at the reverse and see how nice the reverse is. Got a spot right in the center of the coin. Well, other than those two little spots, man, you got yourself a nice, clean coin here. That one right in the middle of the field in the lower part. So you got yourself pretty much a 65, maybe a 66 level coin. Zyrtec at night and Flonase. What medication actually is Zyrtec? I think I have some of it. Do you know what the active ingredient in Zyrtec? That's a brand name. Yeah, it's like you're not going to go outside for a walk on a submarine. What did you just walk in just as I was putting your coin away, Doug? You got yourself a really nice, it's in plastic now, but you got yourself a really nice 1985 D Lincoln cent here. It's not a die variety, but it is a pretty high quality coin. There's a couple of little spots on it. It's still a decent gem coin, even though it's got a couple spots on it because it has really high luster and very, very few marks. So that's what you got. Well, there are screen doors on subs, just not ones you actually want to be able to bring back up. Mr. Worley. Yeah, I think the Chinese Navy was having a problem with that because they were putting screen doors on their subs. What do we have here? Well, that's a little bit of blistering going on right there. Linear blistering in the plating. A few little spots here and there. A couple of blisters here and there, but still it's a very nice looking coin. Album worthy. That's what Coin Dragon calls them, album worthy. You guys may not think this. You guys may not realize it or have it in mind, but I've got a pretty decent memory for names. And as I do what I do, even the people who are not buying from me on any given day, doesn't make any difference. I see their names and they become part of my little family here. And I like having everybody here who is here. So when you don't show up, especially in times like this, it makes me worry about you. And I don't want to have to worry about you. I'd rather you at least, if you're not going to buy anything, I don't care. At least try to show up and say hey, so I know you're around. This one's very spotty. Not a good coin at all. Just going to go to Deanne. I still haven't seen anything regarding die varieties, a double die repunchment mark, or anything to that effect on any of these coins yet. So this is probably going to turn out to be a less than wonderful roll. And yes, I do know I still owe a bunch of you a 1956 D-roll. Midnight Silver Run. Midnight Silver Run will get the next coin. I can see spots on that with my bare eyes. Alright, no die variety here that I can see. Hello, Mr. Dowdle. Glad you checked in. I think you got a couple of spots in this roll, I do believe. No, maybe not. No, I'm thinking not now, because I think I remember erasing your name off the list to print the new ones. I use the same file every time I make these. And so all I do is change the names on them, every one of them I do. I change the number of the actual reveal. Anybody who wasn't here at the reveal for the 1972 roll last night missed out. I gave away a couple $100 worth of prizes last night simply because it was number 100. Reveal number 100. So you see how your 5 looks a little fatter than normal right there? The reason it looks a little fatter than normal is because you can see those little stripes on top of it, and you can also see that it doesn't stand up as much as the other digits in that area. Well, all of those digits are quite a bit thicker toward the bottom than they are up toward the top. That's what makes all those shadows. And your 5, it's almost like it's been shaved off from the top. So what's left is more or less just the base without the mountain. If you take a mountain peak and you shave the top of it off, you end up with something that looks thicker than it was to begin with. And that's what you end up with here, and that's why these letters look thicker too. Got a relatively nice mark-free coin here. Other than the fact that it has kind of a weak strike, and I'm going to assume that the reverse is quite weak, yes. Quite weak. We got a couple of spots on there, but we have a very weak reverse here. Nothing doubled that I can see. So you're in the 87D. Yeah, I've decided to do only 2 reveals today, and I'll do 3 tomorrow. We've got 5 left. Oh, hey, look at that. I ran into the freebie. Who did I run into that for? Paul Hampton. Paul Hampton's going to get the freebie. So let me write his name on here. Get Paul Hampton's name out there, and he's going to get the 1 free coin that I put in for reserve, and this is that coin. It's coin number 19 in the roll. There's a lot of really nice shiny coins here. Shiny, shiny. Do tend to have a little bit of a strike issue on them, though. In general, anyway. I'll tell you, it's one of those dates you either hit or you miss. We missed this time. We got some cute coins, but we missed a big bonanza. All right. Well, Paul Hampton gets the next coin, too. He did buy a few of them in this roll. All right, and this one's got spots on it. So it's kind of an in and out type thing. Some of them you get spots and some of them you don't. It's an interesting little creator right there. You got typical die wear starting to form on here that creates these ridges and pits that are kind of concentric in shape. Some areas of the coin will get them and other areas won't. They're pretty strong in this area right here. As for me, I don't have a bug out location. My bug out location is right here in my house. I got me, my wife, my protection, my dog, and we're good to go. We've bought groceries 3 times in the last week. Now we have us enough to last probably a month and a half before we have to get back out. And so we're good the way it is right now. Hey, hidden numismatist. Yeah, farm dog. Farm dog's next. We have found no RPMs here yet. No RPMs, no double dies so far in this roll. Wishing the best to everybody out there today. You may or may not be working. You may or may not be affected by this COVID virus, but if you're not, you probably know someone who is in one way or another. Whether they're out of a job, out of work, whether they're sick with the virus or have family members who are. even people whose financial situation has tanked because of the drop in the stock market. It's all very temporary, though. Just remember that. All the bad things that are happening right now are very temporary, and it'll all come back. Everything will come back, and we'll be just fine. That's what we're looking for here today, Eric. At least inner bar RPM, something, right? Just something. Throw me a bone, will ya? Thinking about doing a stream later. So, CoinDragon, you need to give your channel out to everyone so that they can come over and take a look at it and see if you can't schedule a time for it while we're playing around here, so at least they'll know when to come over and watch your stream. At least give us a clue. Throw us a bone. Give us an idea when to be there. I might be there and I might not. I've got other things I have to take care of this afternoon, plus today's my day to cook. I'm going to be doing a fettuccine Alfredo with ravioli. Heart attack on a plate, but man, they taste good. Use a full pint of cream and a full stick of butter for 3 people. You know, gluttonous. Yeah, better than the alternative, though. Because the alternative is to try to find a restaurant in the local area that actually has curbside service and order food and go get it. Just something I've kind of wanted to do for the past couple of days with my favorite pizza place around the corner. And I found out that the owner has shut the place down for the time being. So we'll have to see if they end up coming back. But yeah, my Alfredo is actually really good. I did Alfredo one time for, I don't know, somebody at the scout troop. And it ended up being that we did a spaghetti dinner to raise money for summer camp for the troop. And they asked me to come in just to cook my Alfredo sauce because so many people really liked it. And got really high marks. A lot of people really liked it. We made regular meat sauce, marinade, and then Alfredo sauce, and we cooked a bunch of spaghetti, and they had a choice of which sauce they wanted to get, and a piece of garlic bread, and a drink, all for $5. We had a couple of hundred people come. That's really good. We paid for about half the troop summer camp with that. Oh, dude, you're a veteran of one troop? You managed to stay in one troop the whole time you were a scout? I was in Cub Scout Pack 200, then Cub Scout Pack 263, Troop 263, Troop 415. Then I was in Troop 268, and then in Troop 252, and then I went in the military. While I was in the military, I was an Assistant Scoutmaster for Troop 584, and I came back to the States, an Assistant Scoutmaster for Troop 10, and then for Troop 89, and then my son graduated and left. Actually just left because he graduated in Sweden. And today's day and age and the way things are going with society today, I felt rather strange going to be a leader in a scout troop where I did not have a child participating, because I would have been like a third wheel, and it just kind of looks a little weird these days. So I just quit going, and I haven't had any involvement in the Scouts for about 7 years now. God, look how clean this one is. Dude, one little spot right there, One little spot right there. And that's it. Not a mark on the coin. Anywhere. Totally clean. Beautiful. Totally clean. Let's look at the other side. Okay, we got a couple of... those are stacking rub marks, I think. Yeah, they might be dark spots. Okay, so on this coin, we're going to call this one so far the nicest coin in the roll. So Adam's going to get a really, really nice coin. Let's lift up and take a better look at the entire coin as one piece. Wow, will you look at that? Will you look at that? Blinding luster and hardly a mark on the coin. Beautiful. Wow. Smack, boys. That's got it right there. That's a hot coin right there. That one might actually be a 67 if they missed that little spot on the coat. I also see now that there's a little ping dent in the back of the coat right up near the collar, on the collar of the coat. You got one spot on the shirt collar and one spot on the lapel. And man, those are rather well hidden. Your fields and your luster are what really make the grade of a coin. This thing's a 67 if I've ever seen one. That's nice. Nice, nice. Not sure what 67s sell for, but that one does look like a 67 to me. And that one's going to Adam Chambers. I'll tell you what, why don't we just do the rest of the roll like this, backed off. I'll go back through and I'll look for die varieties later, but let's just look at these for grade at this point in time. Because what else we got, right? No die varieties, 26 coins. I'm halfway through the roll, no die varieties. Oop, that one's a little spotty. What's coin number 27? Who gets coin number 27? Mr. Buyer. Don't see anything going on with this coin other than a few spots. Nice bright luster though. Yeah, we've got slightly later die state, couple of spots on the reverse, but that's about it. Nice looking coin anyway. Nice bright luster. So that's Eric Buyer, coin number 27. Let's take a look at coin number 28 now. Coin number 28 will go to Jeff Dunn. Jeff Dunn gets coin number 28. Few little tiny milk spots, just little light spots. They're not the kind of spots that are the irreversible type, except that one on the shoulder. Got that one on the shoulder and one at the bottom of the coat. You got a few of them down there. You got little blisters running throughout different parts of this side. A couple of spots too. Not seeing anything indicating hub doubling though. And that'll be coin number 28 for Jeff Dunn. Now coin number 29 will belong to, well, Adam Chambers again. Is he going to get himself another perfect clean coin? Nah, we got a few little issues with this one. Nothing to take it out of a gem condition, but it's certainly not a gradable coin. It's a nice coin, but it's not nearly as perfect as that other one that he got. Wow, that coin was really nice. All right, number 29 goes to Adam Chambers. I'll take a look now at coin number 30 in the roll. Coin number 30 will go to Doug Reese. Oh, there we go. One right on the cheek, right on the mouth, and near the bottom of the shoulder, but otherwise, this is a delectable coin. Gosh, not a mark on these. That's nice. Let's take a look at the reverse. Yep. The ones where you got really clean obverse, you're going to have a clean reverse too. You got a little bit of a spot above the left base. And that looks like the only thing that you've got affecting this coin. Just a little spot on the left base. You got a tiny blister above the T toward the base. And that can affect eye appeal slightly. But this isn't enough to hurt the coin. That's a 66 right there. Alright, next in the bag will come out the name Jeff Dunn. Jeff Dunn will get coin number 31. This one has a few spots on it, I can see. A couple little tiny spots. Not much worse than the last coin. Looks like another 66 by the obverse. Very high, shiny luster. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little tiny colors in there. Talking about gold panning now. The opposite of gold panning. Panning for black. Let's see, on there we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 little colors. I still say this one could 66. But I don't think a 66 has any real marketable value above the cost of slabbing. Probably around $20, $15, $20. 67 would probably come quite a bit nicer than that. Let's take a look here real quick. And we'll look it up like this. Get my keyboard in place. The modern Lincoln cents. We're going to go to the zinc cents. Going to hit 1985D. Going to red. No, a 66 is pretty much worthless. A 67 will get you 25 bucks. A 68 will get you 30. No, 68 will get you 70, 80 bucks. So it needs to be a 68 to really have enough value to bother. Look at that, 69. $2,000 to $5,000. So in the grade that we have these in, it's not really worth getting them graded, even the really nice ones. But still, I tell you what, folks, you got yourself a nice coin if you're talking about a 65 or a 67. So there's that. All right, so let's draw for the next person. Next person in line will be Chuck Patillo. Chuck Patillo gets coin number 32. This one looks super clean from what I'm looking at. Nope, it's got spots on it. They're not bad spots, they're just spots. Still a nice, bright, uncirculated coin. In fact, the spots are hard to see with the naked eye. Simply because the coin is so bright. Alright, that's coin number 32 for Chuck Patillo. Now on to coin number 33. And coin number 33 will belong to Joe McBride. Joe McBride gets coin number 33. And yes, I do realize I did not go to a commercial break. And this coin's not as pretty. And no RPM or double die that I can see. Take a look at the reverse real quick. Not seeing any hub doubling here either. On to coin number 34. So if you do happen to get a 67 out of these, you got yourself a coin that's worth well over the $2 paid. It's not going to be common to get a 67, I can tell you that for sure, but evidently they're not highly uncommon either. Okay. Oh, wait. I didn't draw a name for that coin. Oh, who do we get on here? Huh. Look at that. I got the wrapper. I'll let you tell me if you want the wrapper. Joe McBride, are you in the house? Mr. McBride, are you in the house? Go ahead and write his name on here anyway. You want the wrapper, Joe? Got that wrapper right there? I'll put your name in it. You can make your decision. Okay. Got it ready for you. We'll figure out some way of getting that in there. Now we need to draw for this coin. Paul Hampton. Paul Hampton gets the coin that we've looked at here that I did not have a name drawn out for. I'll flip it over and we'll take a look at the obverse again. Just for Mr. Hampton. Well, this is cool. This is a really nice looking coin. Except that it has some spots. And yes, I wish the mint had done something to take care of their spot issue before they did. But if you look at coins after 1992, you don't find the spots nearly as often. So Eric Beyer. So most of the black spots that you see just from storage, like this right here, come on the zinc Lincoln cents from 1982 through about 1989. After 1989, they kind of start to fizzle away a little bit. By the time you get to 1992, you don't hardly see any black spots on the coins at all. I'm sorry, what looks like movie theater font? Guess I'm not keeping up well enough because I don't understand what you're saying. Frank. Oh, the wrapper. Okay, I get it. It looks like a popcorn box from back in the day, right? So you say popcorn. $2 for popcorn. All right, Paul Hampton gets this next coin right here. I do believe. Yeah, Paul Hampton gets this one. What I'm seeing looks pretty clean. Okay, it's a pretty nice shiny coin, but it does have a couple of spot problems. And the reverse, just about like the obverse, has a couple of spots. Spots are a lot less major on this one than they have been on some of the others, though. Very nice shiny coin, though. Very, very nice. That's coin number 36 for the roll. That's to Paul Hampton. Now coin number 37. Coin number 37 will be for Joe McBride. Jojo, here's your coin. Oof. Not so good. I'm seeing a lot of these coins with this little arc right here. So I'm not sure what caused this because these things have been bank wrapped for a long time. It could be. I don't even know what that is. You see what I'm talking about, though? It's right on the back of the shoulder. There's a little arc coming in from the rim running across the shoulder. I've seen this on a few of the different coins in this roll. I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking at. I haven't seen it on the reverse yet. It's only been on the obverse. And it's a little arc that follows the size of the coin. It looks like it was the rim of another coin and somehow got in the way. Let's take a look at the next one. Doug Reese gets coin number 38. Let's see what Doug's coin looks like. Yeah. Not bad, not great, but not bad. You hear eBay notifications? Wouldn't be on my computer. If you're hearing any ding notifications, they're coming from Facebook, coming from Messenger. I haven't used eBay in about a year now. I still have eBay, but I can just kind of let the store sort of run itself out of stock. May be restocking pretty soon, but not anytime real soon. Gosh, without those spots, this would be a perfect coin. It's just the spots that keep it from being so nice. Wow. This is one hell of a roll, except that it's got a couple of black spots. Oh, that's your eBay notifications? Yeah, I used to play the eBay game quite heavily, and I just kind of gave up on it after the market started drying up for me. I found that Facebook was just much better. And I started selling on Facebook, and I was fronted with the idea of creating a web store, so I created a web store and started selling on a web store. That did well for me. And around then's when I decided I was going to start doing some educational content for YouTube, and that actually became roll reveals and auctions to sell the roll reveals along with other coins. And it just kind of developed into my basic business model after that. So that's kind of what I do. I do auctions, I sell spots for roll reveals, and then I turn around and do the roll reveals. This one goes to Wild Bill. It's coin number 41. Hoop hoop. We got a spotty roll. We've got some absolutely beautiful coins coming out of this roll, and then we've got other ones that are just spotty. That one turned out quite spotty. What comes up next? Let's find a couple of more really good coins before we end this roll off. Here's Doug Reese. Doug Reese gets... it's a decent coin. It's got a couple of spots. Well, nothing there. Tell you what, folks, we're going to start turning up the volume a little bit on this roll reveal thing. I'm just wondering from everybody, if we got into doing more modern rolls like this and we're selling them for $1 a coin or less, would you guys be interested in those, or are you really more interested in doing the older wheat rolls that cost more per coin? Just a question. Look at that one. Here she comes, Miss America. One little spot above the shoulder. One little spot above the shoulder. That's about it for this one. God, this thing is beautiful. So, Coin Dragon, are you talking about my scene volume, or are you talking about you want volume as far as more coins? Hey, what was that? Is that... Okay, it's just the way I turned it. The way I flipped that coin made it seem to me like it might have a rotated die. But man, this thing's a 66 if I've ever seen one. As long as it's copper, Doug is good. Eddie Jams, how you doing, buddy? You want both, huh? Alright, Mr. Patillo gets coin number 44. Some of these coins are just exquisite. Oh, this one's pretty nice. Almost missing the L in Liberty because of a grease-filled die. A little tiny spot right in the temple area. A little spot halfway between the nose and the rim, out at about 230 position. Other than that, we got ourselves a really nice looking coin here. Let's take a look at the other side. Oh man. Pretty near perfect right there. I see one spot above the E any pluribus unum. Maybe one spot on the... Nope, that's not a spot on the left base. I thought it was for a second. One little spot on the left side of the steps. So we got 2 total spots on the reverse that are both small. So Farm Dog wants both. Jim Eubanks wants both. Memorial are okay if they have potential for varieties, but you prefer just to have wheats. I get that. I understand that. It's one of those things where I have to spread things out a little bit to make everybody happy, or at least attempt to make everybody happy. So this one's one of those rolls. 85Ds are actually very tough to come by as far as rolls are concerned. And you'll find yourselves into RPMs here and there on the 85Ds, and you'll find yourself into rolls that have nothing in them, just like this one. But you never run into the RPM rolls without opening rolls. And you never know what you're getting before you open it. There's Farm Dog. Wow. These last few coins in the roll are just really nice. What you're seeing that might look a little bit like spots there is just treatment of the surface of the coin when they washed the planchets before they struck them. Wow, look at that. Somebody's getting himself a... Who is that? Farm Dog getting himself a really, really nice coin there. He's got a little hit in the rim below the O of 1. Little hit in the rim above the RI of America. Little tiny spot next to the last T of States. But dog wham, this is a nice coin. Silver dimes are cool. I can get silver dime rolls, I think. Thing is, because of the nature of my business, I don't get a whole lot of call for silver. Farm Dog, you got yourself a real beauty right there. That one, even under magnification, was hard to pick any flaws on. All right, Wild Bill. We got 4 coins left in the roll. Hopefully this is one of the really nice ones. No. A few spots here and there. Typical BU 1985 descent. Unfortunately. The reverse is cute. Couple of little spots. Overall a decent coin. Everyone's hoarding physical... I don't think they're hoarding the physical silver as much as they're saying, well, you know, shit, I bought this silver dime roll for $75. I'm not going to sell it for 60. And today's spot price tells you it's not even worth 60. So why lose money on it when you got a pretty good idea the silver market will recover within a couple of months? That's what everybody's looking at. They're looking at this is a very temporary thing, and the fact that we've got a virus going around, that once the virus is gone, we can start picking up the pieces and recovering. And once we get to recovering, your metals and everything else, the stock market and all that's going to go back up to where it should be. And why does anybody want to sell metal right now for half of its value? Right. SHTF. Get it. All right, Eric Beyer gets coin number 49. This is next to the last coin in the roll, so this is the last one that we had a chance of getting a really high grade on, and it isn't going to happen. This one's pretty spotty. The reverse isn't much better. Sorry about that, Eric. I think you got a couple of nice ones on the inside of the roll, though. A new double die, 95 Lincoln doubled ear. Yeah, I haven't heard about that yet. Hope it's really, really nice. DN. Deanne gets the final coin in the roll, and unfortunately, we're probably not going to run into a double die or an RPM. Although, I was thinking maybe it had a clash, and it does look like it has a little bit of a clash. And not enough to really make it of any kind of value. The clash is a misaligned clash. Right now, I have the clash aligned. So, perhaps it is a rotated reverse. It is, slightly. So it's cute, nice. No real extra value, but nice. So it's Wexler attributed WDO number 5. I'll have to go take a look or see if I can find a picture of it. I've got rolls and rolls of 95p. Had planned on doing a roll of those next week. But that's what we got, folks. We've got 50 normal 1985 D-Lincoln cents. Some of these things are in superb condition. And some of the other ones are just ugly. But that's unfortunately, that's just the way it works. Unlisted 1995 PDDR you found, just never sent it in. And it's on the roof in Bay 7 with the statue. It's like, is it kind of like the 1972 DDR number 1? Fairly strong. I like that idea. Why don't you see if you can pop a quick picture of it and send me a quick picture of it? We might be able to get a coin here and get it listed on the system. Unless you can take if you can take really good pictures, I'll publish your pictures. But the pictures have to be like pretty good. Oh, now you got to find the coin. Yeah, it's kind of like me. I've found stuff and forgotten that I ever had it, and find it like 2 or 3 years later. I'm sure I've seen your pics, but I just don't remember them right now. I've got so much going on, I can't remember who does what. So while everybody's going on lockdown around the country, and while everything's going on around the country, we keep pressing right along here. I do have another roll reveal scheduled for tonight. Let me take a look here real quick. I've got them all scheduled out, and they're all in my videos. Reveals for the remainder of this week. But I want to go over them with you real quick. Let's see here. I don't want to do uploads. I want to do live streams. There we go. So our next one is scheduled for tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be roll reveal number 102. That's a 1987D original roll. Then our next one is going to be 10 a.m. tomorrow, Saturday. 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's Eastern Time. Going to be doing number 103. That's a 1995D roll. We'll know quickly with that one whether we've got a good roll or not, because there's three different double die obverses that are more obvious than others. And then we have reveal number 104 that's coming at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. So we've got a 1997 Philadelphia roll at 7:30 p.m. We're going to be looking for doubled ears in that one, and high-grade coins. And then there'll be a 1998 roll, and that'll be coming up. That's reveal number 105. That's coming up at 9:30 tomorrow evening. So we've got 8 o'clock tonight. These times are all Eastern Time. You got 8 o'clock tonight, 10 in the morning, 7:30 p.m. tomorrow, and 9:30 p.m. tomorrow. And that'll about do it for this week. Just got those 4 remaining for this week. And then we've got the Coin Night Live Auction Weekend Edition, number 9, is going to be with our very own Jessica Johnson. That's going to be at 3 o'clock Central Time on Sunday. 3 o'clock Central Time on Sunday. And she's going to have, at some point, she's going to be running a flash sale. Not exactly sure when that's going to be, but she's going to be running a flash sale. You might want to ask her about it. And the flash sale that she's talking about doing is going to be Just a bunch of leftovers and remnants and stuff running at very inexpensive prices. We're talking about off-quality rolls or off-quality little baggies of coins or whatever it is. Maybe some copper, maybe who knows what. But she'll be running that. It'll be coming up in the next week. And let's see, then I've got the auction coming up. Auction number 33 is set for the 24th at 8 o'clock p.m. That's on Tuesday. And that's where I should be selling the next batch of reveals that we've got going on. Okay, so Jessica says that her flash sale is going to be all rolls. I'm sorry, what's at 4 a.m.? Do I have something set at 4 a.m.? I don't think so. $69D looks like DDR1, but is it slanted ceiling? Those slanted ceilings might be a little more common than we think they are, because we've only got a few of them listed, but that's primarily because not a whole lot of people have been looking for them. A typo for last Sunday? Huh. Okay. Well, my bad. If I do typos, I do typos. It all comes out in the wash. Just remember that our weekend edition is Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Time, and our regular Coin Night Live auction is Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And you should be pretty set. If you show up at those, you'll find out when all the other broadcasts are. So I've got a number of rolls to get packed up and ready to go for next week. I'll let you know. I'll let you know tonight what those are going to be, because I'm going to go ahead and start getting them set up now. I'm going to pull them out and get them ready. So I will be off about my business right now. I've got 24 people watching right now. We've got 24 total likes. That's nice. Oh, sorry about that. I did get that set up wrong, didn't I? 4 or 5 folks were in chat Sunday at 4 a.m. Good for them. I tell you what, folks. If I ever schedule anything after 10 p.m. and before 7 a.m., you can count on me not being there. Let's just work it that way. I'll see you guys later. Have a great afternoon, and I'll see you tonight.